how you're finding it today. So massive thanks for you all attending. This is a real brief one today, so this is definitely nowhere near an hour, but it's a really important one, a real thing that we want to kick off, and a massive part of the SRAG for 2024 and beyond. Oh, here's Anne. Here's the wonderful Anne. I'm going to let her in.
Good stuff.
This is good news. So just a few of our pretty standard lunch learning rules, but just so you're aware today, like I say, we'll probably be done for 1:30. That's the aim, so nowhere near an hour today. Please, normal rules, stay on mute when you're presenting. No one likes or loves the background noise of a dog more than me, but not on this call, please, because quite a lot of us, which is great. Save any questions to the end. There is a designated Q&A session, so this is a real opportunity for you guys to come on and learn about the covenant. You know, what is it? What does it mean to your business? So please do not leave this call with a question unasked, and if it's not, don't be frightened to touch base with us later on the LinkedIn page or via email as well. We are recording, so it's a recording for anyone that can't join us today. So again, if you want to be camera shy, turn those cameras off, but please keep them on if you can, so we can see you interacting. And then, as always, no such thing as a silly question. So please, please, please do kind of get them out to us at the end if you've got anything you really want to know or learn today. Okay, I'm going to pass on very, very quickly. We've got Anne looking very glamorous in the virtual room now. We've got Emma as well, glamorous as always. Okay, so just like I say, it's short, sharp and sweet today. So we're going to give you an introduction to what the covenant means and what we're trying to achieve with this, and more importantly, what it's going to mean for your businesses and organizations. And we're going to get you to sign up live today. If you've not signed up already and you've got the ability to do it, we are going to get you on there. Okay, so yeah, Julie's already in. Okay, I'm going to pass. Yeah, I am going to pass to Emma. Emma, over to you.
Yeah. Brilliant. So as Craig says, it's a fairly short, sharp session today. We've got about half an hour. But what I would say is that this is definitely an ongoing conversation.
Can everyone hear Emma, or is it just me that can't?
I can hear her.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's just me then. How weird. Sorry.
I thought the tech gremlins had got me again. So what I would say is that it's an ongoing conversation. So please do, as Craig says, if you've got questions you didn't think to ask, please do kind of shout after the session. Can everyone hear me okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So some of you will already have heard, lots of hands. Some of you will already have heard us talk about the Social Recruitment Covenant, and I'm really excited to see so many people here today on the call, because I genuinely think this is a really exciting initiative that will really help us create more opportunities for people who are disadvantaged in the labour market. And that's what this covenant is really about. You will have seen some of the other covenants. Armed Forces Covenant is one that many people will know, but there are quite a few out there. What the Social Recruitment Covenant does is it focuses really on the fact that work is really an important part of everybody's life, and that there are people who are locked out of the labour market, and that if we work together as employers and organisations, we can make a real difference and we can change that narrative and that story. What I would say about the Social Recruitment Covenant is it covers employment, training and skills, and work in the community as well, to really support people who might struggle with long-term unemployment and struggle to stay in work as well. It's an umbrella commitment which addresses that terrible thing that we call intersectionality. It's a word I don't really like. But what that does mean is that actually we do know that very significant people have multiple barriers, and that can create real problems in terms of being able to get into the workplace and then stay in work. However, what we do know is that people who face multiple barriers, they're often the real untapped talent pool that your businesses can pull on if you've got the right tools and the right ability and changes in your recruitment practices to make a difference. So it's an umbrella commitment. It will work with the other covenants and charters that you're signed up to, but it really is about your positions as employers and organisations being able to open up opportunities for those that are furthest from the labour market. One of the important things we would say as well, it's good business. So if you adapt your recruitment and retention practices and your development practices, it will help you not only achieve that kind of social goal of helping those who are most disadvantaged, it's also really good for your D&I, it's also really good for recruitment and retention. it isn't a charitable act. It makes good business sense, and we know that to be true. The recruitment covenant in itself, you probably can't read the wording, so I'll kind of tell you what we've aimed to do with the covenant, which is to make a very simple pledge. And it was important that it was simple because it really can we just go back a second? Sorry, I'm coming on to those in a minute. It was important that it was simple because what that means is that you can adapt it to your business. What is good for one business, it might be, supporting more prison leavers, might not be the focus of another business. And so we kept the pledge very simple, which is that, by signing the covenant, each organisation understands the importance of social recruitment, understands how it can play its part in it, and that it can actually make the changes to increase this as mainstream business practice. The slide that Craig just gone on to, which I'll ask him to flick up now, really gives us just a sense of how much untapped talent there is. You have people who might be in isolated or rural communities, you have veterans, people who might be refugees. There is a ton of untapped potential, which Anne will come on to in a minute. But actually, if you look at the number of vacancies versus the number of people who are what we call economically inactive, by signing the covenant, what you're doing is helping us create a movement of employers that can really tap into those people who are at the moment economically inactive. So the pledge is simple. You can do a myriad of things under that, and what we are here to do as the SRAG is to really help you navigate that. The first call to action is really about signing the pledge. But for example, you can have volunteer programs, you can work with not-for-profits in your community, you can put in place SWAPs, those sector-based work academies. There's a ton of things you can do under that pledge. And what we're here to do as a SRAG is really, encourage you all to sign up. And I'll come on to that at the last page after Anna's talked through it, why it matters. But also we'll then talk to you a little bit about the SRAG charter marks that might help you navigate some of those things as well. So Anne, over to you on to why it matters. And apologies if I've gone over some of your content.
You haven't actually, Emma. I think I'm just going to step back to when I was Skills and Apprenticeship Minister, and I was responsible for post-16 education, but not university education. So a lot of my responsibility concerned those groups that Emma put up briefly, and we will be sending around the slides.
We will, yeah.
It was about that group of people, and it was quite interesting talking to employers who had taken the move to do this sort of thing, to look at a different pool of talent. And they became quite evangelical when they had done. The first step is literally always the hardest. But when they started to think about employing people who were furthest from the labour market, the payback to them as an employer was huge, and they all said the same thing. And Emma describes this as a movement, and that is exactly what it is. When we started out with the Social Recruitment Advocacy Group, which we co-designed with a small number of employers in those early days, our aim was to create a movement. We've got government talking about this at the moment, certainly about getting people into work, but actually the thing that shifts the dial on this is you as employers. As Emma says, this is a very broad umbrella, which I think is very important. It simply says, by signing up for recruitment, you are saying that we will fish in other talent pools. We will look at some of the people we hadn't otherwise looked at, because for our business, we will do better if we have a wider talent pool. And I think that is the extraordinary thing about it. There's a groupthink in companies, in organizations. You start fishing in other talent pools and you get a very, very different dynamic in the workplace. The other reason that this is of increasing importance, as the slide says, 30% in public bids and commercial tenders, is about social value. And this is a direction that we're going to see any incoming government focusing on. Without a doubt, the Labour Party, if they're in government, have said that social value will be really important in terms of those bids and tenders. I can see that figure of 30% going upwards. For a government, it's a no-brainer, really, because it doesn't cost them anything. And it will help to make the country more productive. But this is a juggernaut in the middle of the road coming at you anyway, and we want to get ahead of the curve. And critically, we can provide the tools that you need to start fishing in those other talent pools. You know, one of the best things I think I've heard, and I think it was on one of our lunch and learn sessions, is, you know, if you want to employ somebody who's a former offender, then you don't invite them for an interview, because the last interview they had was in the police station. So, you know, it's about different language. It's about going about it in a different way. It's about flexibility. So this is important for you as a business because of that talent pool. The government, definitely, any government coming in is going to be moving us even further in this direction. And it's not a charitable act, but it is about doing the right thing as well. And I think one mustn't forget that. We would love you all to sign up today. If you can sign up today, I'm very impressed Craig has the ability to do that. But that's great. I don't think you need anything else from me at this point, although I'll hang around for questions if anybody's got any.
Thanks, Anne. That's great. I think just to kind of emphasise Anne's point as well, if you look at how much spend there was on kind of social value activities in relation to kind of public tenders, and I know that's not that's a factor that affects some of you, but not all of you. In 2017, it was 25 billion. Today, it's over 100 billion. So that's the trajectory. And as Anna said, I don't want to kind of read the runes for the next election, but if you look at the Labour Party, they are talking about a social value council. They're talking about mandating more accountability. So actually, it's great to have people here that are kind of ahead of that and have already, for many of you, taken a lot of steps along that kind of social value journey. So the plans for the covenant, what we have is an ability to sign up, as you can see, but we've got some grand plans for the campaign around it as well. So we will be doing a parliamentary briefing in June, on the 11th of June, and that will be with the Right Honourable Sir Robert Buckland, who will be hosting that for us. That will be a briefing for MPs. So if there's any MPs, your constituency MPs, you'd like us to particularly put out that invite to and to talk to gain that political momentum, please do let us know, and we'll be very happy to send them a direct invite. And then what we're doing is we will be having a much bigger launch in the autumn with SRAG members, where we will be celebrating the fact we've got well over 100. I'm aiming for double that signatory, so everybody please sign up. What we're going to be asking MPs to do is to sign what's called an early day motion. Some of you may know what that is, so I'm not going to teach a grandmother to suck eggs, but essentially it's a kind of written statement or debate that MPs can sign up to. So we'll be asking them to endorse the Social Recruitment Covenant, and we'll be reflecting the fact that we've got amazing early signatories on the covenant that are really, you know, the leading lights on this, because we do want it to become a movement. Following on from that, we will be having kind of, you know, doing a lot of PR and marketing. So again, if you are early signatories, please do let your PR people know. We're very happy to jump on a call with them and to explain what we're doing to make sure you maximise the PR benefits and the reputational benefits. And that's not a selfish business perspective either. What that helps us do is really encourage more and more employers and your supply chain to sign up to that. So first step really is that parliamentary briefing. We'll be doing lots of LinkedIn and social media around it. In the autumn, we'll have the bigger event where you will you will all have an invite and ability to come and celebrate with us the momentum. The other exciting thing is just to say that we have had discussions with DWP. They're very excited and encouraging us to talk to them. So Anne and I are off to meet them in May, very early May, to look at how they can endorse and support this further. So lots of momentum. We are really excited. I'd like this to be big, if not bigger than the Armed Forces Covenant, just so that we can really support as many people as we can. So sign up. I'm going to hand over now possibly to Craig or even Sarah just to talk through how you can do that, and then we'll open up for any further questions. Craig, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, no problem. Firstly, just a couple of shout outs to colleagues. So Nick Ward, I'm hoping Nick's on the call, because this was his initial brainwave, so well done, Nick, for kind of getting this off the ground and really seeing the need for this. But then Rachel always she's put herself in the background on these calls. There's no need, she should be front and center, because Rachel is the person that will be dealing with your kind of SRAG covenant responses as well. So any of these, if you scan this, if you follow the hyperlink, if you drop us an email, there's Rachel. Yeah, she'll give you a little wave then. But Rachel is that person that will then be sending you that Adobe form for you to sign it. So at this point, it's just capturing you as an EOI that you want to sign it. So, and then we'll get you that official certification over to you to sign. And Rachel's the person that's keeping us on track with how many people are signing and all these brilliant, just tracking that movement as well. So yeah, thank you, Rachel. But please do.
Sorry, final thing which I did forget to mention, once you have signed up, you will receive a pack with us with all of the marketing logos and all of the kind of information on signing up and support. So that will be coming once you have signed the Adobe document.
Just a couple of points from me, Emma, if you don't mind. So although it's called the Social Recruitment Covenant, obviously recruitment is the first element. It's then about retention, development and supporting them to thrive within your workplace, which all can be included in your pledge. But that was the right and the best way of being able to name the covenant after going through lots of different kind of options. And also I'm going to put Rachel on the spot because what are the numbers looking like?
Yep, so to date, and we've only had the first lot of signatures out around 3 days in total, we already have 41 signatures.
Amazing. And we've got a fair few EOIs out there, haven't we, already?
EOIs, yeah, just
so people saying, I want to send me the link. So the more that we can get to sign, the more that everybody kind of leans in and can benefit from it. And I did tongue in cheek, but actually I don't think it's that far off, especially if you all lean in and support. I'd love to get to the 1,000, and I know that they're going to all slap me, do a virtual slap, go, Laura, no. But I genuinely think that it's really achievable with all of the partners that we've signed. And we've got such a fab group of partners, employers, and other champions that have signed up. So yeah, massive thank you to those of you who've done it so far.
Yeah, so just encouragement for me.
We can get to 1,000, Laura, don't worry. I'm sure.
I thought you were going to up the ante then. The final thing I would say as well, if before anyone's got any questions, is if you do have questions about how you want to kind of evolve the pledge, please do kind of come and talk to us. Either Craig, myself, Laura, Rachel, or your kind of account manager if you have an account manager here. Please do come and talk to us, and we can certainly help you articulate a particular pledge that's relevant for your business. Otherwise, you can just sign up to the general pledge and we'd be very happy.
So we'll make sure this is all shared afterwards, and we'll get the QR on the LinkedIn as well for your colleagues and partners, but we'll make sure that's shareable as well. So yeah, I think Emma's absolutely right. I think it's now time, if anyone has any burning questions or just wants to know a little bit more about the covenant or how they get involved, please do use the raise your hand feature, and we'll answer them as best as we can.
Got Nick.
I do, and this is for Emma. If you could, perhaps it'd be useful if you could just explain a little how closely the covenant and the charter marks sort of work together and intertwine with each other.
Yeah, so sure, of course I can. So the covenant really is a starting point in the journey. It's where some of you will already have charter marks, some of you won't, but it's an acknowledgement, and it's a public acknowledgement of what you're doing. The charter marks, if you're a signed up member of the Social Recruitment Advocacy, really start to delve in more detail about what sorts of things you can do as an employer to meet the bronze, silver, gold, or ambassador charter marks. And what we do is we go through an assessment, and then we literally work through what works for your business, what's right for your business, and how to move you forward through the bronze, silver, gold, depending where you are in that journey. What I would say is we want everybody to sign up to the Social Recruitment Covenant, and more employers that publicly demonstrate this is a good thing. That's great. So even if you're not yet a signed up SRAG member, please do sign. If you are a signed up SRAG member, also please do sign, because this is the public commitment showing why we all feel this is important. But if you are thinking about joining the SRAG as well, be very happy to talk you through those charter marks and what they mean, and how we can help you develop that social recruitment journey through your business. That's really, you know, behind the whole ethos of the SRAG is about helping you make those strategic tactical decisions, and then working as a collective group to put together resources, tools, network that can help you through that journey. So that's how the charter marks fit in with the covenant.
Brilliant, thank you. Anyone else?
Probably nobody's got any questions, because they're just going to sign, Craig.
Okay, that's a positive sign. That's good. Yeah. No questions needed. Just go away, get the ink on the form, and done. Yeah, that's great.
I think I'm just going to say one thing. I think, you know, if you look back over the last 20 years, government responds to things like this. It's not just an empty pledge. We do get a response from government. It will make a difference.
Brilliant. Yes, thank you. Brett, you got your hand up, Brett. Brilliant. Brett, then Serena.
Hi, Craig. Just a
Hi,
quick
Brett.
one. You mentioned that you can sign up without actually pledging anything, and just sign up generally. Could you explain that a little bit more to me, please?
Yes. Go on, Emma, if that's okay. Or was Emma froze?
Emma looks a bit frozen.
She
Laura,
does look
do you want
frozen,
to
doesn't
I
she?
mean, what would you prefer, Craig? I'm assuming you'd prefer people to actually
Yeah,
pledge
I'll take that
support.
one, Brett, if you
Yeah.
like. Yeah,
Thank you, Laura.
so we'd absolutely love you to. What we didn't want to do was to put some pledges that didn't work for all organisations. So that's why it's about curating one that's relevant to you. So it might be you choose what to pledge. So it might be that you don't have the ability to support ex-offenders, but you absolutely do have the ability to support with sector-based work academies. So it's about making it relevant to you. That's why first of all, you can sign up and say, I'm really keen to do this. We will then be reaching out to say, right, what does your pledge look like? And working through and supporting employers, because so many are at different stages of their journey, and some just might say, I'm interested, but I don't know how to get started, and we want it to be inclusive to them, as well as the ones who are more specific about what they'd like their pledge to look like. So that was the rationale.
Yeah, I'll take it away then, Craig, and liaise with some other internal departments that would also like to make pledges, I would have thought, regarding this, and then come back to you with it complete, if that's okay.
And it equally doesn't need to be your finished pledge that goes on the. You can sign up and then follow through with your pledge. So, conscious that some of those pledges might not be something you want to make a call on overnight. So it's an evolving document, really, that you can kind of build and include your pledge, increase your pledge as you wish.
Fantastic. Thank you, Laura. Thanks, Craig.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Brett, for your question. You did freeze, yeah. Don't worry.
We've got a new broadband provider. That's what happened. You have a few glitches.
Serena, we've got a question from Serena. Sorry, moving to work. Yes, go for it, Serena.
Hey, Craig. Craig, I just wanted to clarify, I guess, as the charity movement to work, do we just sign up in the same manner as well? Because it says as an employer and then references the organisation.
Absolutely is the answer to that. So whilst you have a slightly different status, because I think many of your employees, if you like, are seconded, very much this is something that we would love you to sign up to, and it might be that we slightly tweak the language to say employers and institutions or organisations. So yes,
Perfect.
please is the answer.
No, that's great. Thank you.
It's an everyone welcome thing.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
I have
Thank
to
you.
go. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Goodbye,
I'm
Anne.
gonna leave
Thanks,
you.
Anne.
We're going
Bye.
to close soon anyway, but thank you, Anne. Hattie, you've popped a question in the chat. We'll get back to you on that, because yeah, that's something that we will have the answer to, so we'll get back to you on that. Any more closing questions with regards to the covenant? Anything? And like we said at the start, please do fire questions at us. Use the LinkedIn group. Don't be frightened to ask away if something's not in the with you now. No, I'm going to say no. Everyone told you, all heard me say 1:30 finish. It's like being back at school, isn't it? Once that teacher says we're finishing at 5:02, that's in your head. So yeah, brilliant. No, thank you ever so much for your involvement today, your interaction. Hopefully you've learned a little bit today, and you can go away and, like I say, tell colleagues, supply chains, partners as well, because the more signatures, the better. And we really want your movement on this. So thank you ever so much for your attendance. Brilliant. Thank you all.
Thanks a
Have a
lot.
good
Thank you
afternoon.
so much,
Thank you, guys.
everybody.
A great afternoon,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Gordon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.